everyone, we're group 17 and this is our final presentation. These are all the members in our group. So for challenge 1, it's identify why John is unmotivated. We use the expectancy theory here, which basically explains that even if he works hard, he feels like he won't perform well enough to earn his bonus. It also has to do a lot with self-doubt, and individuals are motivated to act based on their belief that effort will lead to performance will lead to reward, which is valuable to them. Secondly, we also consulted Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This discusses the lack of social connection in the workplace, as well as how he feels like he's being undermined by higher level motivation because he feels like he doesn't have that sense of belonging. This hierarchy of needs is motivated by 5 tiers of needs, and right now those aren't being met because he's doubting the higher level of self-fulfillment. For the self-efficacy theory, he doubts his own abilities because of the array of new processes that he had to learn within such a short time frame. This ends up reducing his effort and his ability to succeed at a specific task. It leads to more doubt, which leads to worse results. And so right now he needs to figure out how to correct this feeling and gain mastery experiences by completing small goals, learning, and socializing. Moving on to our motivational strategy. Our goal here is to create a comprehensive motivational strategy for John. So through this, we're looking at self-determination theory, where a company should provide training and mentorship so John can build confidence with Tech Labs process. And this also has the potential to boost his confidence as well. And B, we're going to look at cross-functional collaboration as well. A formal version of this would be initiating a project that John works on with other Tech Lab members to increase collaboration while also demonstrating the correct ways to conduct these processes. An informal version of this would be facilitating opportunities for John to connect with the Tech Labs team more through team building activities and also cross-functional projects. So now I'm going to turn it over to my team member, Morgan, and she's going to continue on with the motivational strategy.
Okay. So, to help overcome issues with self-confidence, we decided that we need to publicly acknowledge John's contributions and performance through team meetings to reduce self-doubt and reinforce his values. We also decided that autonomy, competence, and relatedness are the 3 main things to focus on to solve this. So diving deeper into those 3 things, autonomy encourages John to take ownership by allowing him to set personal performance goals and choose his own methods he uses to complete specific tasks. This will help John with flexibility in his schedule or project assignments. It's also important that managers get involved to help John and discuss important decisions. Competence is John's company can offer him training programs and membership opportunities to further develop his confidence with the Tech Lab systems and tools. Providing feedback from supervisors can also help him understand where he needs to grow and improve. Relatedness, the company should incorporate regular team building activities and collaboration. This would help John further build relationships within the Tech Lab system. Building a culture is key for peer recognition and open communication. Publicly acknowledging John's achievements during meetings can help reinforce his morale. So our goal is to create a comprehensive game plan to resolve this issue. So for mentorship, we think that we should assign a mentor to John from his department who has past experience with the Tech Labs process and company culture. This can help him kind of just explain everything he needs to know, and so he has someone to go to at all times. And then he should also be scheduling regular check-ins between John and the mentor so they can discuss his progress and he can give him feedback. His mentor should not only be a technical resource, but a motivational support figure. B, team dynamics. We think that they should organize team building activities such as workshops, projects, or lunches to build and strengthen relationships. and the HR department should develop a plan that promotes a positive workplace culture. This fostering relationships is important to help John. And then finally, ongoing mentoring, monitoring John's motivation after implementations, and having one-on-one meetings with John for him to get feedback. Now I'm going to be passing it off to Kenny.
So how will this work? According to a McKinsey & Company survey of over 1,000 employees, they show that performance management is the most effective when it features strong, consistent internal logic that employees understand. Furthermore, if you approach it with a coherent, connected framework across goal-setting, performance reviews, feedback, and rewards correlated with the highest motivation to perform, goals also need to be attainable. 72% of respondents said that goal setting is a strong motivator. Employees felt more motivated when their performance goals included a mix of both individual and team goals, and when their goals were clearly linked to their company's goals. Employees are more motivated when they were involved in the process and the goals were updated throughout the year to align with team and company priorities. Management also needs to be a part of the goal setting. It needs to be almost a group effort. Performance reviews is also another key part of this study. The survey showed that different rating scales showed differences in how much motivation employees reported. Employees were significantly more motivated by performance reviews when they were offered by a skilled manager and reflected the individual achievement of a performance goal. Another key part is management training to foster meaningful development. 21% of respondents who had no development conversations felt motivated by performance management, while 77% of those who receive ongoing feedback. 25% of the survey respondents said their managers did not have sufficient skills or capabilities to conduct their performance reviews. And large companies in particular could design more power and resource to middle managers. Now, non-financial incentives. The survey showed a strong relationship between employers' use of financial and non-financial rewards and employees' perception of their personal motivation and performance improvement. Employees were more likely to perceive that their organization's performance management systems were improving company performance overall when non-financial rewards were used. Non-financial rewards can also serve as a critical booster for the success of a cohesive performance management system. Examples of non-financial incentives could include a manager's praise, an opportunity to lead a high-profile project, greater autonomy, or more workplace flexibility. They can be used to reward progress towards bigger company-wide goals or smaller private goals specific to the individual employee. So in summary, John is unmotivated for reasons such as the expectancy theory, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and the self-efficiency theory. Our strategy to improve John's motivation includes methods such as the self-determination theory, cross-functional collaboration, and help with overcoming issues with his self-confidence. To accomplish this, we will incorporate mentorship, a better team, dynamics, and ongoing monitoring. We believe that this will work due to a survey performed by McKinsey & Company of 1,000 employees on what keeps them motivated. Now I'm going to pass it over to Ryan.
Challenge 2 is employee turnover. The goal was to identify causes of low job satisfaction and high turnover rates. The employee survey shows that dissatisfaction with frequent leadership changes, teamwork challenges, and office politics. When job satisfaction decreases, turnover increases, especially during the first 3 to 6 months of employment. Job satisfaction is influenced by employees' needs being fulfilled, expectations being met, value attainment, equity, and dispositional and genetic components. The LMX theory, employees likely experience inconsistent relationships with leaders due to the constant changes in leadership. High LMX creates trust and mutual obligation between employees and leaders. Low LMX creates more formality in expectations and rewards. When the quality of an LMX is low, it leads to an individual level behavioral outcomes, including counterproductive behavioral and a high turnover. Organizational climate. Employees reported dissatisfaction due to uncertainty, problems with teamwork, and lingering effects of office politics. Successful climates rely on a shared perception of the organization's policies, practices, and routines. Past leaders contributed to the office politics, which damaged trust and morale. A tension or unstable climate reduces motivation, leads to conflict during teams collaboration, and increases turnover. Our job satisfaction strategy. Our goal is to improve the overall employee job satisfaction and reduce turnover rate. Communication. It often leadership changes create confusion in the organization. Samantha should communicate consistently with updates and team meetings to reduce confusion and anxiety. Another form of communication is upward communication. Most employees will like to have their voices heard, so Samantha should build a system so it's not always communication going from the top to the bottom. Improving LMX. High LMX with all the employees will make job satisfaction improve tons. This eliminates things like favoritism, treating everyone with the same respect and holding everyone accountable for the same mistakes as well. Perceived organizational support. Employees want to know that the organization cares about them. Samantha needs to create an environment where employees feel that way. This includes offering assistance, resources, and recognition. Providing employees with opportunities to grow and develop shows that the organization is investing them into their future. This shows a sign of trust and stability. Now I'm going to be passing over to Jordan.
Okay, so our game plan to accomplish all of that is to introduce weekly team meetings in every department. In these meetings, we plan to communicate agendas, game plans for projects, and get updates from each team member. This will not only increase communication, but it will also build relationships between team members. We should also put current long-term employees in leadership positions. Promoting within the company will make leadership turnover less likely, as it will promote a sense of support and confidence from the organization. And it will also motivate employees to meet goals and expectations. We also plan to introduce an open door policy for leaders. This gives employees the opportunity to voice any concerns or issues to leadership before the employee gets upset and unsatisfied by their job. This will also allow employees and leadership to develop relationships, which will lead to a more positive work environment. Why will this work? The information provided about our strategy is proven to reduce turnover and increase job satisfaction based on our research and what we have learned in class. It lowers turnover by building trust and engagement. It clarifies expectations, makes employees feel valued, connects employees, reduces burnout, and informs and involves all the employees. This is according to a Forbes study on how better communication prevents painful turnover. We plan to analyze baseline engagement, developing a scoring mechanism to determine categories. Employees with high engagement, middling engagement, and low engagement can shine a spotlight on who needs more attention. Examine what's been missed. While lack of promotions is often blamed for turnover, high performers aren't leaving in small numbers. These are some of the most painful employees to lose, but the fact that they were set up for success but chose to get elsewhere sends important signals. Empower employees to connect on the things that matter most to them, expanding how people address employee resource groups and how they define themselves. Build the right capabilities for network management internally. Many people think that they'll earn any opportunity they want through high performance. Creating networking events such as company-wide challenges to have coffee with 5 people outside one's department can force people out of silos and increase both engagement and innovation within a company. In summary, the research and development department has a very high turnover rate, especially in leadership positions. HR notices this and conducts a job satisfaction survey, which finds that over half of employees are dissatisfied with the current state of their job. In order to combat this, we recommend to Samantha, the newly hired leader of the department, implement the following items: an open door policy, weekly team meetings, and putting in current employees into leadership positions rather than hiring externally. That's it. Thank you for listening.